folks over at Success have been celebrating 30 years of one of their most beloved IPs with re-releases and even a reboot last year. What better way to celebrate than a brand new title? Hello everyone, Xander Skullion here, and today I'm doing a review of Cotton Rock and Roll, also known as Cotton Fantasy out in the West. There's something sinister in the making, and the Willows are vanishing from fairyland, and it's the Fairy Queen who asks Silk to seek out the witch known as Cotton for help for a lifetime of all-you-can-eat willow supply, as she has an insatiable craving for them. Cotton is willing to help her old friend embark on yet another adventure. When it comes to the gameplay, you'll notice really quick that Cotton Rock and Roll has a lot of similarities to the Cotton reboot that was released in 2021. One of the things I absolutely love that they added to Rock and Roll was some bonus stages that are on rails, kind of like Panorama Cotton or Rainbow Cotton. This is mostly for bonus stages collecting tea for more points. I would also like to add that the Jewel Fever mechanic from the reboot has been reworked in Rock and Roll, with items now dropping from enemies whenever they're hit with magical spells. Now, it's not uncommon for Cotton titles to have a roster of characters to choose from, but I have to say this is a pretty good selection, and many of the characters are actually from other Success IPs. Both Cotton and her rival Appley have their traditional Cotton style gameplay. Each of them have their own unique magical spells. While Cotton has the option of having fairies similar to the first game, Appley really utilizes the capture bubble from Cotton 2. Amahara is a character actually from a platforming series, not a shooting series, and she plays very similar to Cotton 2, with her being able to capture and toss enemies with her fishing rod in all sorts of different directions and distance. The gameplay really revolves around the fishing rod mechanic because, let's just say, the pufferfish she's riding is kind of weak. She's actually probably the weakest out of the roster so far. Fine utilizes her mechanic from her title, Starfighter Savine. Instead of lives, she has a timer which constantly ticks down and more or less acts as a life gauge, with the timer going up as long as the player keeps shooting enemies down and collecting crystals. She has the access to 3 different shot types at all times, which can be cycled at will. Laffy, unlike other characters, has only one spell type, the light spell from Cotton 2, and having more of a straightforward beginner type gameplay compared to the other characters. Another character crossover is Rhea from Cyverior. Her shots are like leveling up as she grazes enemies' bullets. She can also use her main shot, but she has no bombs or magic spells. Last but not least, Tekut is an unlockable character, and much like Cotton, she has a very unique ability of launching her staff, which can hit enemies and float in place while shooting its own shots until the player calls it back, working very similar to the force pods that you see in the R-Type series. Altogether, there's 6 stages in the game. They can be played in any order, with the last 2 being fixed. But in addition to the regular stages, the player can also unlock special stages from each character by simply beating the game, for a total of 16 different stages altogether. Now, you guys know I absolutely love the shooter genre. In this case, is a cute 'em up, and I've always loved the Cotton series. But I have to say, a lot of shooters I've played in the past, I would play it, beat it, put it back on the shelf, maybe pick it back up to get like a personal high score, maybe if I'm feeling a little competitive on the online leaderboards with some of my friends online. But Cotton Rock and Roll does something very, very special that you don't really see a whole lot with modern gaming, and that is the unlockables. It's kind of refreshing to play a game that's not having a paywall of DLC, and I can just simply play this game and unlock more characters, unlock more stages, and really get the bang for my buck. I would also like to add that because this game has various different difficulties that you can select from normal to hard to extra mode, and this wide plethora of roster, I feel like this is a really great game for newcomers of the genre, or maybe if you're not too comfortable with all the crazy bullet hells out there. So to get this game a score, I'm definitely going to give it a straight 9 out of 10. I cannot recommend this game enough, and if you're someone who likes physical media, you can actually order a physical copy of Cotton Rock and Roll on PlayAsia.com, and it's also in English, so even though you're importing it, you know what's going on. Anyway, guys, what do you think about Cotton Rock and Roll, or also known as Cotton Fantasy? Is this a game you definitely want to check out? Leave a comment below if you've been playing it. How much have you been enjoying it? I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to not only subscribe, but also hit that bell so you're notified on all future videos that come out on this channel. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.